Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Always, and welcome to a brand new game. This is Peglin. If you are unfamiliar with Peglin, this is essentially a roguelike Pachinko game, and if those words mean nothing to you, you'll get the gist of it pretty quickly. So this is a game that I have been playing for quite a while. There was a demo out for months, and I played a lot of it. It was really fun, and I really enjoy this game. It's so much fun. But it recently, like last week as the time of recording this, went to early access, and so it is sort of available. There is a lot of game to it, but there is going to be more in the future. So I figured let's go ahead and play a little bit. It's something that's relatively easy for me to record with how busy I've been, and we'll just jump into it. So I'll kind of explain things as I go. Start a new run. So first things first, we get to choose a relic. These are boosts that do different things, and I think I just want this. We'll just go with that. I'll explain what everything is as we go, but this is the overworld map of the forest, and this is a roguelike, so every time you play the game, it will be slightly different. There is a bunch of randomness to it, from the fights to the items you get, and to the relics, which are these, like the improved catalysts. So, first of all, this is the Peglin board, Peglin board, rather, not Peggle. This is not Peggle, it is very similar, but not quite. And we have a deck of stones. You start with 3 stones and a dag orb, and all of these have different stats and abilities. We have our health in over here, our little goblin guy, or Peglin, I guess. I think he's actually called a Peglin. I can't remember, but yeah. So we have these rocks, and basically we shoot them, and as they hit pegs, they do damage. They can hit bombs. Bombs reactivate every once in a while, and we do damage to the enemies. Otherwise, they'll do damage to us. Now, the normal pegs, just the gray ones, are just normal pegs. The bombs do 50 damage normally, and take 2 hits to activate. The yellow exclamation marks are criticals, which each orb in your satchel have different stats. So stones, for example, do 2 damage for every peg they hit, but if they hit a critical, they do 4 damage for every peg they hit. And then the all-important green reset, or refresh rather, refreshes the board. So you can see where we've hit pegs, they've disappeared and they're like little small pegs now. If you hit a refresh, and it looks like we can, I'll go ahead and show this off if I can. I don't know if I can hit that. We'll try. But we hit another bomb and we blew these guys up. So if we hit this refresh, it resets the board. So that's super useful. We hit a whole bunch of bombs and we won. So our catalyst, our improved catalyst, is a relic. I know this is a lot of information. It makes sense as you kind of see it and play it a little bit more. There's a lot of things to this. There's sales things I'm discovering, but just bear with it and you'll get the gist. But the improved catalyst makes our bombs do 10 plus damage. There is a bunch of different relics that do a bunch of different things. And then the last thing I didn't really explain is this trash can below our health. I really hope my mouse is showing. Let's deal with that later. But the trash can lets you discard orbs, which can be useful to get to other orbs. So we have a new orb we can take. We can take ball lightning, and they have special effects. So the ball lightning can target any enemy. Otherwise, you target the first enemy, and then critical attacks hits all enemies in the column. The eye circle is really good. I actually really like the eye circle, and this is what I'm going to take. This pierces. You can see its stats, and I'll just hover over it. It's pretty, straightforward. And the docked orb is a healing orb, but it only is used once, permanently removed from your deck after it is used. So the eye circle, regular attacks pierces 1 enemy. Crits pierces through all enemies, and the orb, when you shoot it out, will pierce through the first peg. So I'm going to take that, and then we have to decide where we go. So if we look at the map, there is a path. The small skulls are enemy battles, like what we just did. Question marks are anything. They could be random events, they could be relics, they could be normal battles, and I think they can even be mini bosses, which are the red skulls. And then way down here there are treasure chests. Those are relics, guaranteed. So I think doesn't matter much to me. Let's go to one of the randoms, just because it's going to be easier to get there. So you have to choose the path, you have to navigate, and if you miss and land in the fires, it does damage. Lose all your health, and it's game over. So we'll just go to the easier path, and the map will change every single time you play it. The orbs you get will change every single time you play it, and everything. Alright, you stumble upon a mysterious altar. You feel yourself pulled towards it, and you realize you are holding out potential offerings. One orb in each hand. I think I know what this does, so I'm going to offer the eye circle. You place the eye circle level 1 on the altar, but it sinks right into the solid slab of stone. I should have got rid of the stone. Dang it. So our stone is now level 2, so orbs can be leveled up. Doesn't really matter. We'll go this way. Orbs can be leveled up, and they get stat boosts. Sometimes they get new effects. Sometimes just random things happen. So you can see that they are level 2 by the Roman numerals next to them. But stones don't get any special effects. They're just stones. They're not super important, but we can like discard these. And I'll have to show off one more thing before we go too much. You can also see the upcoming enemies, which is kind of important. Those will show up after a turn. And yeah, so the Dag Orb is an interesting thing. It's very weak on the regular attack, but if you can hit a critical, it's very powerful. So we're going to try to do just that. And fail. But we hit a bomb, so that's kind of nice. That will get rid of everything, actually. So bombs are very powerful, but they do not reset. So if we hit the reset, they do not come back. And we won before I could show off the thing I wanted to do. If you run out of orbs in your satchel, you have to reload. And that allows the enemies to take 2 turns, which is not necessarily good. We'll go ahead and upgrade the Dag Orb. That will get more power. And doesn't really matter, we'll just go this way. Why not? So yeah, this is a pretty cool game. I really enjoy it. It is very replayable, and there are currently 3 areas. Oh, this is awful. Weathered old Peglin flipping a poker chip through their nimble fingers. Do you consider yourself a gambler? So we can flip the chip for 2 HP, or we'll get a relic. Unfortunately, I know what the relic is, and it's not very good. At least not to me. So we're just gonna leave, and we're gonna try to go to the boss, the mini boss. Awesome. So currently, as far as I'm aware, there are 5 different main bosses. This is a mini boss. It is the green slime. He has a lot of HP. We might actually not be able to win this. I need to save the bombs if I can. But we're gonna crit with the Dag Orb, and this will do a lot of damage to a single enemy. So that is really, really good. And plus the bombs will do 60 damage to everything. And pretty much it's just, try to hit as many things, as many pegs as you can. The green slime has 400 HP, but we can start hitting the bombs now. That'll clear up the rest of the slimes, and we can focus solely on the big mini boss. And so it's important to reset the board, because as you clear more pegs, you have less to hit. And so one other thing to note is when you hit a peg, you get damage based on whatever the item it is, whatever orb you're throwing. But the crits and the refreshes do not add to that. So if you just hit a refresh, it will do 0 damage. So it's important to make sure that you are good aim. So like that is 0 damage. If it falls through, we do nothing, which is unfortunate. Doing 30 damage is also fairly unfortunate. The crits will move, but the resets do not, unless you have something that does that. There is a lot of relics that do a lot of different things. Now, why would I come and fight this mini-boss, who is much stronger than the normal enemies, and, you know, can do a lot of damage to us? Well, we can get some really good stuff. We get a guaranteed relic, and either an upgrade or another orb every time we fight a mini-boss. So, it's pretty useful if you can handle it. Let's do that and get the angles, and we won. Cool. So I don't know how many episodes of this I'm gonna do. So we can upgrade an orb, we can heal, or we can skip. We're gonna upgrade an orb. Let's just get our dag orb max level, and there are 2 relics we can take. So we have post-battle healing is increased by 2% for each orb in your deck. That doesn't sound like very good. And whenever you take damage, deal 2 times. Ooh, I like that. We'll take that. So this will do 2 times the damage that we take to all enemies. And let's see where we want to go. Let's stick to the left. I don't really want to fight another mini-boss because we don't really have a good build yet. So every time you play this game, it will be different. And spiders. This can be a little bit of a rough thing. You can see how some of the pegs look a little bit weird. They are sticky and will kind of drag you down rather than you bouncing off of them. But every time we take damage, everything else takes damage too. So that's nice. And we can just hopefully get nothing. We just did a decent amount of damage with our dagger, but not that much. So yeah, like I said, there are currently 3 areas. There are 5 bosses that I am aware of. I haven't seen any others, and I've played this for like, well, okay. I have like probably close to 15 hours on this already. The early access release of this game. But I haven't played all of it. It's been mostly my girlfriend who is completely addicted to this game. But it's just one of those, like, you know, it is early access. There is not a lot of content right now, and it is like a $20 game. But there will be more content later, and I'm pretty confident this dev did do a lot of updating to the demo, which is kind of unheard of. And so I kind of expect this game to get flushed out a little bit and be a lot of fun. There is a demo of kind of a hard mode that we'll probably end up playing at some point. By the way, crits do not stack unless you have a special relic that allows that to happen. Pretty much anything, if it doesn't happen, there's probably a relic for it. Alright, that should be close to everything. If we can hit another bomb. Okay, we just have the spiders left. And just 1 spider, so we should be able to clear this out this time. But yeah, so some of these battles can be a little bit difficult. And when you get done with... Okay. When you get done with clearing a board, navigating is whatever's left, and so that can be kind of challenging at times, but we should probably heal, but I don't like healing. So the Doctor Orb again, I don't really want that. The Rub Orb is decently good, and then the Reorbanizer, it shuffles the crits and refreshes every 5 pegs hit and whenever the orb is discarded. Not particularly useful to us, so we'll just take the Rub Orb. That is a fun thing. So let's go this way if we can. Alright, we were able to. And I'm really sad that we lost our icicle. I thought it was going to be the other way around. And this is a battle. So like I said, the question marks can be pretty much anything. Um, usually you want an event, and usually that's what you get, but you can also get like free relics, just a treasure chest lying in the middle of the path, or you know, a fight like this. There's a lot of things you can do. It is completely random, and that's what's so fun and replayable about this. Now, this game does get very difficult after the first area. The first area, the forest, is pretty straightforward, but then the last two areas can be very difficult. But you can get builds where I had a build where I was doing almost 10,000 damage with a single shot. You can get pretty powerful, but we'll probably do an area per episode. I don't know, we'll see, but I don't want these episodes to go too long, but still there's always a chance that we'll die, and I don't know how much of this we'll actually end up playing. It is a roguelike, so it is technically infinite in content, but at the same time it is a little bit repetitive to watch. It's just kind of interesting to see what kind of builds you can get. So let's bomb these guys, and that should take out the first two fairly easily. Oh yeah, and we should have this. So yeah, the basic story, there is a little bit of a story. Basically, you're a little Peglin dude. Ooh, okay. We really should heal, but Inferno Orb does do 2 damage to yourself. It is very powerful with base stats 3 and 5, and it detonates bombs in 1 hit. That's pretty good. The Swole Orb upgrades every peg that it hits to do an extra damage. So the more pegs you hit with the Swole Orb, the better off you are. And this is actually a really good thing to do a lot of damage. So let's just go. Doesn't really matter much to me which way we go. I kind of look at the map a little bit, but I also don't typically care too much. But here is our relic, and we got a short fuse. So those bombs detonating to the Inferno Orb is completely and utterly useless. So let's go this way. But yeah, so the basic story is you're this little Peglin, this goblin dude, and yeah, they are called Peglins. You're sick of a dragon always stealing your gold, so you're going to go do something about it, and that's the basic gist of the story. You find another Peglin intensely surveying the area. Hello, I'm Haglin. Have we met before? I'm trying to find some good areas to open up shop. In the meantime, I can offer you a free sample. What can I do for you? Upgrade an orb for me. Swole Orb will upgrade things a little bit more, but I think I want the Rub Orb to just be more power. So Haglin takes your Rub Orb level 1 and tosses it into their own satchel, and then pulls out a Rub Orb level 2. You're not entirely convinced that they didn't just replace your orb, but either way, you're impressed. So either way, we get a new shiny orb, and we should probably fight some more guys, just so that we can heal. We really need to heal. I usually don't like... Yeah, we need to heal. But we can do a lot of damage pretty quickly. And the plants are probably the most dangerous thing to us, just because they have range. Decent range anyways. But we're fine. Alright, so let's get a crit, and then nearly miss everything. But that is a lot of damage. Okay, now we need to hit bombs. The Rub Orb is really good for this kind of stuff because it bounces everywhere. It is very bouncy, it is rubbery. And bombs, when they ignite, will send your orb flying a little bit. So it is also really good. If we can hit another... Oh man, almost. Okay, so we really overkilled that bat. There are ways you can take advantage of overkills as well. Let's just... There we go. Now you can see the pegs have these little ones on them. If we refresh, then they get more powerful. So what are we giving up? Splat Orb, which is kind of cool. Makes some pegs durable, which can be hit multiple times before they break. Echo Orb, which doesn't do too much damage by itself, but does an echo of the previous damage. And the Darkness of Turball, blind on enemies so they miss. Not bad, it's really good, but we're going to heal 20 HP. And then go this way. I don't really care which way we go. We're just trying to get to the bottom of the map to our first boss, the Mole. So, what do we have here? From seemingly nowhere, an inferno ignites in a circle around you. There are 2 fireballs bouncing in the circle. So we can dash to the flames for 4 HP, or we can get 2 fireballs for 10. I'd rather do that. You grab the fireballs and they are as hot as expected for a split second. Then they cool as their energy flows through you, allowing you to stow them safely in your satchel. Your hands are worse for wear, but the circle of fire has subsided, allowing you to leave freely. So we lose 10 HP, but we gain 2 fireballs. Not a bad trade. Fireballs are actually really powerful, but they do damage you, so that is kind of bad. So let's just do this. But we damage the enemies when we get damaged. So it's a little bit of a trade-off. Not a bad one. So we'll just get some upgrades. And as soon as we refresh those, we'll do more. We'll do more damage with each peg we hit. Alright, so there is the bomb. And that should be the fight. Yeah, 100%. So the bomb will do 60 damage, and then we'll... Oh no! The blue slime survived. Well, that's okay. This should be pretty quick. And of course I don't get quite enough. He has 3 HP left. And we'll just finish it off. Alright, cool. We can upgrade an orb. I do like upgrading orbs. We can make a very powerful Inferno Orb. I think that's what we'll do. It's time to fight the Mole. The Mole is a little bit of a challenging boss. So, what's with the Mole? What's the gimmick with this boss? Well, first of all, the bosses always have a ton of HP. The Mole, as you can see on the right side, has 602 HP. We also can't hit it. There is this tree in the middle of the battlefield, which is what the actual board looks like, that has 999 HP. You can defeat the tree. I've seen it happen. I've done it. But, yeah. The only thing we can do is blow up the tree, and try to get to the Mole that way, or just, you know, hit the bombs. I do believe the tree produces bombs every once in a while, but the Mole will also dig over here, and when he does, he leaves behind a plant. So it is important to keep the board fairly clean, keep the enemies in check, and do a lot of damage to the Mole. If we can hit that crit, this is going to do a ton of damage, but we can't. Now the Mole will attack us and do 10 damage every time, which is not good. And we need to kill the plant that he spawns as quickly as possible, so that they can't hurt us either. This is not good. We have 15 HP left, but we should be okay. Alright, so that's done. Let's go ahead and upgrade some things. This is not a very good build. I don't expect to get to the end of the game with this. I don't even expect to get past this boss, to be perfectly honest. But one thing to note is if we do defeat the boss, we get a full health refill, which is really nice. But we're dead. Alright, so not successful on our first run, but the plan is we're going to play through this enough times so that we can actually beat the content that's here get past the third area, the caves, as I call it, consider it. But this has been Peglin. I hope I explained everything well enough. We are going to play more of it, and so I'll kind of explain more things as they come up. But yeah, this is a really, really, really fun game, and I've been playing so much of it. So hopefully everything sounds good. I know that also is usually a problem when I first record a series. But yeah, I don't know how much of this will play on the channel, but I want to at least complete it and probably play through the Crucible, which adds a bunch of different things. We'll get to that when we play with the Crucible demo. So yeah, that is going to be it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This has been Peglin. It is such a great game, and I hope it gets a lot of support and a lot of updates from the devs. So support from players and support from the devs. It's always great. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!